There you go. The woman that left is not the wahine that's returning, but yet she's returning to everything that she left that has been put on hold.
When growth becomes a threat, growth becomes threatening when it changes the roles people expect us to continue playing. Sometimes our greatest act of courage isn't changing ourselves, it's surviving the reactions of those who preferred the older version of us, their preferred dynamic, and how we fit into that dynamic. It takes courage and resilience to upset what has always been.
Yeah, this is a big one. I think it keeps us paralyzed or stunts our forward movement on things that we really wish to achieve, experience, and just live through. Um, when we're actually given a pocket in time and in life where we can afford it or we have the time to do so. And it's the kahea is strong within us. On Saturday morning, we'll be speaking about when growth becomes a threat, and not everyone will celebrate your becoming. Because one of the hardest truths about transformation is not everyone benefits from our growth. Sometimes, sometimes people don't resist our success, but they resist losing the version of us they feel they understood at that time. And so we're going to talk about the different roles of growth, because there's also a fear of success that a lot of us have because of what comes with it. We talk a lot about in our culture fear of failure, but we don't really speak of fear of success. And I think that's something that I would like to really talk about when we're together next month. Yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be profound. Once again, I know another profound experience for everyone. These were one of the topics that came up in our last retreat.
Right.
How do we grow? Because a lot of growth happened for everyone there. All the women grew. Um, the piece that I think is going to be really lovely this time is Kumumanu is also covering, and I know this wasn't in our list of things we're covering, but it is in our retreat schedule, the return home,
Yes.
how to return after, because that was something that, we were all like, wow, we experienced some really big shifts. And then you go back home, right? So now how do you deal with when growth becomes a threat with those around you? And when you go back to the roles that you had walked out the door one person and you came back another.
There you go. The woman that left is not the wahine that's returning, but yet she's returning to everything that she left that has been put on hold. After we experience a deeply transformational experience, we're still getting rooted, we're still digesting, we're still processing. We know things need to change for the better because it's best for us. And again, coming back to people and obligations that may not welcome this woman that's still in transformation, allowing everything to settle from the experience that she just had. So we'll be working in this. This is the final session. My final session is Mana and Presence, how we shape every room we enter. And to close out is After Becoming, the Kapu work of returning to yourself. That doesn't, you know, there's hypocrisy that really doesn't feel good in our uhane when we do set out, just carve out this time to come to such an event like ours, to really feel that transformation, for things to identify themselves. It's diagnostic as you're listening and you're participating in these discussions of like things in your life that you've let go too long, allowed them to go on too long, or you haven't started, or something that needs just a correction. And you're coming back and those are still not rooted. And now you've got everything that is back, to you for you to handle. People want to know how it went. They want details, and yet you're still processing. And it's okay to be quiet. It's okay to condense your mana and come into yourself and not share anything until you're ready. But some of people in our lives want immediate updates, right? How'd it go? Did you have a great time? But it wasn't like a retreat where we're laying around and getting massages and things. Like, this is deeply transformational work at the core level. And so it's, oh, you went to Hawaii. Oh, you're so lucky. It's not, yes, absolutely. But it's more than that. Also, in a space, a wahipana of a restored heiau. So, you've got all these different layers that are happening. And so it's very important for us to speak about how we return to that, to not expect yourself to jump right back in, because you're a different wahine now. And this is a good thing. And some will continue to process and some will file it away. Well, that was nice. That was for that week. And that was pretty cool. Kumu Manu or Kumu so-and-so really presented this information. That's cutting edge, amazing. They weaved in this, they weaved in that. And then they put it away. They file it away. And maybe hopefully years later, it will come back when it's supposed to, but it would be really transformational and powerful if we were able to just take that time when we got back to wherever we're returning to and sit in that process and what does it mean to me, and continuing that work, that transformation as a daily process, versus it just being in this container for the weekend in this place. So we'll be talking about how to powerfully reintegrate, if you will, back into the life that you had before you left. But you're absolutely right. The wahine that left is not the wahine that is returning. And we must make considerations for that.